Hello, my name's Luke. I am testing out how to do streaming for the first time ever. So bear with me. I don't know, in case you didn't notice, I like working on old computers. You can see I have myriad of them behind me, particularly the Apple kind. So I have quite a bit of a collection that I've been collecting and repairing, get them, got to work on them a bit, get them working again. Obviously, the old computers need a lot of work, a lot of recapping, leaky capacitors, dead power supplies, reefer caps, all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, that is what I generally like doing with myself in my spare time. And I thought I would try streaming it and just see how that goes. I've never done this before. And yeah, just a bit of fun to try it out, I guess, and see how it works. So what I'm looking at today, just as a bit of a test, is I wanted to test my streaming setup that I've got, or I put together here, or cobbled together, I guess. But I've actually got a Macintosh LC Power Supply here that is actually from this said Macintosh LC, which I picked up a couple of weeks ago from somebody up in regional Victoria. And it doesn't have a power supply in it at the moment because this is obviously the power supply. I have tested this. It needs work. It does need its capacitors recapped on the logic board. But it does work. Just makes a lot of noise. It actually screams, which is kind of entertaining. But it was in pretty good condition, as you can see there. But that's not what I'm looking at today in this test anyway. The main thing that was wrong with this was the power supply is completely dead. Dead as a doornail. So I have tested it with another power supply, and that's how I know that it actually works. This thing, let me just switch over to my other camera that I have. And go to that view. And I think I need to flick that around like that. There we go. There we go. A TDK power supply. For those of you who are eagle-eyed on this kind of thing and know what you're looking at here, you can already see some signs of some sort of corrosion going on here. When I tried plugging this in and testing it out, it was completely dead. It actually got warm though, so there's obviously something going on, but it would not power the computer at all. So now I just want to try and test out. I've got like a microscope view as well that I can turn on, so I'm just going to try that for 1 second. So if I change my camera here, you get this lovely view of blackness. But if I move this over here and then focus this a bit, there we go. That's the power supply. Where's the TDK logo? I can't find it. There it is, TDK. Now I'll just venture a little bit over here to the left, and you got quite a bit of rust going on here, and whatever this stuff is. Interestingly enough, the actual computer didn't have any signs of rust or anything inside it, which was interesting. Just this power supply. So it makes me feel like the capacitors in this are completely stuffed and probably leaking. I definitely won't be repairing that today, but I will try doing that next time, I think. I just want to basically open this up today and just have a quick look in it and see what is the state of it inside the power supply. Okay, so I'm just going to switch us back to the overhead camera. And move that out of the way. All right. Obviously, goes without saying, don't open one of these unless you know what you're doing, because it's a power supply, takes AC power, and touching the components in them can be dangerous if you do not know what you're doing, especially if it has been plugged in recently. This one hasn't been plugged in for many, many months. All right. So I'm just going to open this up and see what the state of it is inside. There's 2 screws. There's another one here. All right, 3 screws out. Now, let's see how we get this thing to come apart. Looks like it just needs a little bit of encouragement. I think I've opened one of these, I've opened a couple of these actually. Hold on, there's 2 more there. I'm going to need to undo those ones as well. Do I? I think I do, because it's attached to that. Just unscrew that one. Ooh, that screw looks like it's got some stuff on it as well. Yuck. I don't know. I'm not hopeful about what the state of this power supply is inside it. There's actually some signs of rust there as well, by the looks of it. And that is around the same vicinity as the rest of it. Oh, there we go. Now she's moving. Okay. Now I just need to maneuver this wire out. Oh, now I've got stuff on my hands. It's the stuff. Okay. Okay. Not immediately the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Inside here. Just need to get rid of this case now. That rust sign there is over these main capacitors here, which are the ones that are going to leak. Actually, there's a bit of stuff on top of that one that doesn't look too bad. All right. So let's got that out. Now I'm just going to detach this wire, I think, after I just get rid of this. Stuff off the side, so it doesn't end up all over my desk. All right. Now, the fuse looks okay, so the power supply hasn't blown. Let's have a look. Blue, brown, they labeled there, so I can just take them out. Just turn my soldering iron on for a second. And see how we go about this. I'm just going to put a bit of flux on it to help this old solder come off. All right, soldering iron is heated up. Okay. And we'll just get rid of this solder on this power Oh, this brown wire. And he's free. Smoke. I should have a fan on. Let me just do this in a second, and then I'll move my fan over here. Okay, do that one. Okay. And you got it. There's a stack of solder on this. Okay, and it's free. So that gets that out of the way. And now we've just got this, which, let me just zoom this camera in a little bit. Not the worst I have seen, but it is kind of hard to tell. There's no real signs of any corrosion at the back, which is potentially a good sign. But I kind of feel like, I don't know, that one's got a weird thing on top of it. I feel like that is potentially leaking. Let me just change that camera view again for 1 second, and I will put it onto the microscope, and we'll just have a close look. Okay, so I don't think that red is anything bad. That's just the, I don't know, what's some sort of quality check they must do on these capacitors. It's hard to see without actually ripping them all out. But they would be the ones I'm sort of thinking of dodgy. The fuse looks okay. I'm just going to try and test it and see whether it has continuity, which it does. So the fuse is definitely all right. And like I said, this power supply did seem to get hot when I turned it on. So I think it probably just needs itself recapped. And that's really blurry. All right, let me just change that zoom back out again a bit so it's not so zoomy. I'm just going to try and lift off these 3 big ones, I think, for this moment, and just have a look underneath them and see whether they've got any signs of leakage. Now, which one is that? That's that one there. So what we'll just do is, again, just put a bit of flux on this. And solder out. I don't know, when I first looked at this, I thought this power supply was going to be stuffed because it... Oh, definitely leaking. Wow. Okay, yeah. There is a stack of leakage coming from this one. Right. And it smells. Ugh. Smells like fish, basically. Let me just switch the camera again over to this. And you can see underneath that is a lot of leakage. It has been leaking for quite a while. So therein lies our problem. Hopefully. I mean, it could be many other problems. It's just the first most obvious problem. But generally speaking, I think in the power supplies like this that I've repaired before, this definitely is the more common of problems. Okay, I'm just trying to see if I can get where those other two big ones are. That one there goes through to this big one here by the looks of it. All right, so we'll just put some flux on him as well. And that one there as well. We'll do both of them at the same time. Solder wick has wandered off. There it is. And now we'll just rip this off. Let's pop him through. Okay, he hasn't leaked that one. That one looks not too bad. It smells though. So maybe starting to leak. Isn't really, or maybe a little bit. Look at that. Kind of. Camera's having trouble focusing on that, but yeah. Definitely it's got a smell about it though. All right, let's try and take that other one out as well. Okay, he just fell out. There. And this one is definitely leaked as well. You see he's got moisture on the bottom of him. And there's signs of leaked capacitor juice down there. I'm actually going to try and take these ones out as well, I think, just while I'm here. Get them all out. And then I will need to, another day, put some new ones in. Okay. Oh, that one's been leaking as well. He's got lots of stuff underneath him. Yeah. He's not in good state at all, that one. Let me show you this. Have a look at that. What a lovely capacitor. Thank you for coming to this power supply and doing that to it. I'm not surprised this doesn't work. That is not a working capacitor. At all. All right. Let's pull those two out as well. And that one goes to there. And that one goes through there. Okay. Okay, that one. Haven't quite let go yet. I'm predicting this one is leaking because it smells as well. Riveting. Smelling capacitors. Yep. Yep, quite a lot. That one is even worse than that other one I just showed it a minute ago. Look at that. No wonder this power supply definitely doesn't work. And the last one over here that I'm going to drill out today is that one there. Okay. And there it goes. She's out. And it's leaked as well. Everything's leaking. This is a power supply is full of leaking capacitors, basically. It is. There you go. That one looks like it leaked and it all dried up afterwards. So, been gone for quite a while. I'm just going to have a quick look at the website Recap a Mac, which is Bruce Rain's very excellent resource, because that will just show me the capacitors that I would normally need to replace in here. Let's just go share screen. Share screen. And there we go. So let's have a look. This is what we want, the LC Power Supply. So if you're looking for this website, this is recapamac.com.au. It is an excellent resource. Has saved me a lot of time in the past trying to work out values of capacitors and what you need to replace in some of these old vintage computers. Now let's have a look. So we've basically, so far today, ripped all of those out. Just haven't ripped that one out yet. I think from memory, Bruce never replaces this one, and I don't actually have any of that, so I don't really want to replace that one today. And that one there doesn't look like it's leaking, so I might leave that one in there for the minute. I might just have a look and see whether I've even got any of those ones. So I just need to get this 47 UF one out. Okay. Oh, here we go. If I clicked on that, that actually makes it much bigger and much easier to see. Look at that. All right. So we're just going to switch back to, I'll just turn myself off, turn that view off, go back to that. And all right, I'm going to pull this very last one out here, because that is the most obvious ones that need to be done. Looks like it's those two ones there. And next time I do this, I'm definitely going to have my fan. I've got a fan over the side there just to make this smoke go away, but I don't have it plugged in today. And I'm trying to avoid getting smoke in my face. Hasn't quite let go. These ones are bent over. Ugh. Whoever put these ones in decided they wanted to bend these capacitor legs over just to spite me. Oh. Okay. I don't know. This one smells like it's leaking as well, actually. Doesn't look like it. But anyway. So there we go. We've got all those out. I'm just going to quickly bring this over and put this under the microscope, and let's have a look at the damage down below on the board. Let's get that to focus for a second, and we'll just make this go up a little bit. So as you can see, there's definitely been some leakage there. That one there was the one that I said looked like it leaked and dried, so it's been leaking for a long time, I reckon. Yeah, that one has got no signs of it. And then this one over here, which I haven't pulled out yet. Just going to focus that and have a look. Doesn't show any signs. I'm just not sure whether I've got any of those capacitors. All right, I'm just going to quickly wipe that down. I'm just going to get a Q-tip. And some isopropyl alcohol. If I can get it out of the tube, I need to refill my cylinder of that. And let's go in here and just clean this up a bit. Yeah, look at that. Yuck. Capacitor gunge. Oh, it's coming off nice and easy. Like I said, I wasn't confident at all when I was thinking about this power supply because of the damage on the actual outside of that case. But actually, I didn't look at the top of that case to see whether it had any obvious rust on the inside. Doesn't look like it does. But yeah, I thought that was actually going to be a more severe mess in here. I've opened up some of these computers before, and some of this stuff just causes terrible damage to the board. I have a Macintosh Classic Power Supply analog board in the box underneath my desk here, and it's like a nightmare scene, that one. I'm saving that for at some point when I'm feeling brave to actually just try and see whether I can actually get that back to life, because that one I definitely think is dead. And just that. So I'm just doing a bit of a superficial clean there. I might give that another go later on, because I just wanted to get that off the board so it's not going to cause any further damage, which it doesn't really look like it's done, so that's good. All right, so let's get that out of the way. That is our LC Power Supply. And that is my first test of streaming an LC Power Supply repair. I will do another job at another stream of this, I think, at some point over the next week. And actually recap it. I just need to basically use that website and double check that I've got all those capacitors. I think I do. I bought a bunch of them recently from Mauser, and I'm pretty sure I bought enough to repair this one, because I've had a couple of these that I've repaired in the past, these power supplies. So anyway, that's cleaned up. It's got all the flux and stuff off that I put on there. We'll give that another go later on. But now, that is where I'll leave it today. So, dismantled LC Power Supply now, but in a much better state because it doesn't have these wonderfully smelly caps in them. I'm not going to put those caps in my container. I have a container underneath my desk here. Where is it? Which is full of old caps. They will end up in there eventually, but I want to just make sure and double check them before I shove them in there with the rest of them. So yeah, feeling reasonably confident. That's good. And that'll be a good enough test for my first time of ever doing this. Hope that was interesting. It's been 34 minutes, so seems like a good amount of time. I will leave that now, and yeah, hopefully you found that interesting, and feel free to have a look at my YouTube channel and subscribe there, and like this video if you find it interesting, and comment if you want to give me some feedback on it, anything I can improve for next time. That URL will take you to the YouTube channel. So, but thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.